Hey tribe, y'all know who it is. It's your girl. It's me, Cece from Crystal Clear Conversations. How everybody doing on this beautiful Saturday? I hope everyone is filled with gratefulness. I hope everybody is filled with joy. I hope you are enjoying your weekend. I hope you are doing self-care. I did some self-care this morning myself. Just got finished getting me a manicure, pedicure, relaxation time. Okay, on the weekends you have to take care of yourself so you are strong enough and mentally prepared enough to take care of others. Okay, that's my little tip for you today. Tribe, I'm coming to you with the word. The spirit was dealing with me on last night, and I gotta give it to you because, like I told you before, anything God gives to me to give to you, I am going to be obedient and do so. So at this time, tribe, I just need you to bear with me as I tell this story. This is my story time. This is one of my story times that I am sharing with you today. Not quite sure why the spirit wanted me to bring this up because this story time happened in the past, some years ago, but here we go. Okay, I kind of did like a subtitle. So my subtitle is I couldn't believe what I heard, and she agreed with it. So I was going to this church where at the time I was going through some things. I can't pinpoint exactly what I was going through at the time, but I do remember just being heavy, filled with I felt like I had a lot of heaviness, a lot of burden on my shoulder. So like I said, I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I know while worshiping, I felt heavy and I was praying in the spirit. I'm not sure who the speaker was, but they asked if anyone needed prayer to come to the altar. I didn't like going to the altar, but if spirit nudged me, I will go. Like if I get an inkling for the spirit that that's why I need to be going, I will make my way up to the altar. But it's not something that I, just in a whim. Oh, I want to go to the altar. I want to go to the altar. I'm not that front and center type of person. So that morning I felt like I needed to be in the house of God because I needed the strength to call on him. And sometimes it couldn't, it sometimes it couldn't do it. I couldn't do it on my own. I'm sorry. Prayer helps me release, but sometimes we can be in a place where we can't even pray, and that is so true. And for those of you who believe in prayer and have done it, you can get in a place sometimes where your throat chakra is cut off, and you just cannot open up the words. You cannot just put yourself in alignment in that position to speak to the Most High, to let Him know how you feeling. It happens. If we want help, we will seek it. At that time, it was what I thought was my church. So I go up to the altar, and one more woman, she comes up there um, beside me. They anoint both of our foreheads with oil, then began to pray. They started with the other woman first. She got emotional. She began to yell out and fell back into the chair. Um, we she fell back into the chair. Um, what I say? They not sure, but I believe. Oh, I'm not sure, but I believe it was. Oh, I'm not sure. Can't read my own handwriting. I'm not sure, but I believe it was a she. They began to pray for me. As I felt the prayer, I felt the spirit. I began to shake, like tremble, like motions, as the spirit was releasing the heaviness off of me. As this person prayed and touched me, I got weak and fell on the woman behind me, who was the woman who fell in the chair. Follow my story. So as the prayer ends and I'm gathering myself, and I just want to paint a picture for you. So the lady who got prayed for first, she got emotional. She started yelling. She was feeling the spirit or whatever happened. She fell back because on the altar we not that far from the first row. So by her moving and doing whatever she doing, she fell back into the chair. When they came up and prayed for me, same thing happened to me. I got emotional. I felt the spirit. She touched my stomach. I fell back on the lady who had fell in the chair. So as I fell back, I fell in her lap, and then I began to slide down her leg onto the floor. I want you to visualize this. I'm in the church. I'm at the altar. I done got down on the floor. I'm holding on to this lady's leg because I was basically in her lap. So I slid down on the floor in emotion. And as I'm gathering myself, holding on to this lady leg, I remember turning around and apologizing, like, I'm so sorry. And she was like, no, 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 no. So as the prayer ends and I'm gathering myself, this evangelist says she want to say something. She took the mic and said something to the effect that some people in the church have been going to church long enough that they shouldn't need the altar every other time they come to church. Every other time you do altar call. This is what the evangelist said, that there are some people who've been in the church long enough that they shouldn't need to come to the altar every other time there's altar call. Then the pastor, I put down, these are my words right here. I said, then the pastor had a nerve to say it again. And she did. She repeated it. Yes, I'm sorry, y'all. Once again. Wait a minute. What did it say? What? I'm sorry. It said that she said it again. And yes, I peeped as she was saying it. By the time she was finished, I got off the floor. By the time she was saying what she was saying, I just happened to look up, and I seen the lady that I was leaning on. She looked up too, and then I looked up. I kind of looked at her, then looked back at the lady that was saying it, the evangelist, and looked at the pastor as she was saying, "Say that again," because she was right beside me, darn it, helping me get off the floor, talking about say that again. So as I got up off the floor, I finished the service, you know what I'm saying? They closed out in prayer, and then I leave. I just go ahead and finish what's going on, and I left. I thought about what she said very carefully, in and out of my feelings. So saying that, when she said it, like, I got in my feelings instantly. And it wasn't even that I got in my feelings instantly. My spirit felt her words as disrespect, and I got that So I said, Chris, humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? Humble yourself. Make sure you're not in your feelings. So I walked away from the situation because I don't want to be saying nothing out of turn. You understand what I'm saying? Especially in the house of the Lord. So, tribe, I'm telling you my story because God brought this day back up to me to share with you. I asked why, but I shut up real quick. And here is why. If you look back at some of my earlier videos, I talk about churches and how you have to be careful where you worship. But also, even if you are in the right place, you have to be aware of what's being said and how it's being said. For a leader to feel comfortable enough to interrupt a moment right after prayer to form her personal opinion about someone else wants or need to walk to the altar for help for whatever reason they choose is disrespectful. Let me take my shades off. Let me put my shades off and put my glasses on. I probably can read better if I put my glasses on for y'all. But guys, yes, I saw that as very disrespectful, very disrespectful. And for the pastor to ask her to say it again was very classless, period. You barely have a congregation in this church, and you have the gall to say to members, regardless of how long they have been there, worshiping in your church, paying tithes and offerings with their hard-earned money, that they shouldn't need to come to the altar for every little thing, but then preach that we should pray and acknowledge God in all things. It's crazy to me. This is why I say do your own research. Meditate and seek your own knowledge, guys. Do you hear me? The church will not give you all the answers. They want you to depend on them, not God. Let's be real here, okay? I wanted to be honest with you, okay? God told me that I got, this is what he gave me, and I have to be clear on it, and I stand on what he said, what I'm saying. Do you understand me? They want you to depend on them, not God. Let's be real here. If you go within yourself and find the real you, that real connection with God, what would you need them for? The churches have been tainted over the years. It's a business full of deceit and deception, some truths to cover up many lies, okay? And when I say, and what I say about that is, once again, going back to some things that I have said. Now, yeah, you can get a word from a pastor, a preacher, an evangelist, a teacher, a missionary, a prophetess, what they call it, a bishop. You can get wisdom from them. You can come away with nuggets. You really can. They can give you some things, but they're not going to give you the whole story. They're going to tell you some of it, but they're not going to tell you all of it. Why? Because they don't want to give you all the tools you need to really be set free. Do you understand me? It's an illusion. They want to keep spoon feeding you. They talk about, I know y'all, if you've been to church, you heard a lot of pastors say some members are still on the bottle. They still need to be fed milk. They newborns. They still need to be, fed milk. But then once you've been in church for a while, you should be able to consume meat. Let me tell you something about that meat. That meat is spoiled, and that meat is tainted. That meat been sitting there for years and years and years, and they keep beating on it and rearranging it and changing it and pouring salt on it and flipping it and flopping it, trying to make it look fresh, trying to make it still like it's still alive. It's not alive. It is dead. Do you understand me? The churches have tainted religion. They have tainted Christianity. That's why I say I am no longer a Christian, and I stand on that. I am a believer of the Most High. You can feel about it how you want to feel about it. But anyway, getting back to my words, the word is coming back full circle. I did a video a few days ago about being offended when someone disrespect your relationship with God. He brought it back to me, that feeling of offense I felt, and how I never looked at those two people the same. Do you understand me? There have been several incidents in the church where I peep game, where I peep how somebody side talk me or have a side conversation, might, say a little something, but I overlook a lot of things. And God also reveals some things to me that I see in the church that I don't say to anybody. I see spirits on people, and I done seen a couple of them in the church. Let me just say that. But over the years, they just, I believe that they feel like they've been getting away with it for so long that they just can continue to get away with it as if God don't see or hear them. Like, do you know who you talking about? Do you think because he don't say something to you immediately that he don't hear you, that he has forgotten? Because he don't deal with you immediately in your... You think he ain't taking notes? You think he ain't taking notes? You think he not taking notes? How do he judge you? By your heart, right? So what you say out your mouth come from your heart first. You think he not seeing that? Come on now. Let's get with it. Because the nerve of you to tell me how much I should need my God who created me hit different from who calls themselves godly. This is a message to be aware of how your leaders treat you. Amen. I give you what he give me. It's all in love. Do you understand me? It is all in love. So I just want to continue a little bit on that about being all in it being all in love. I'm saying this all in love because I want you to understand that what I say, this is nothing that I make up. This is nothing that I sit around and fiddle with and write down and come up with stories. These are real events that has happened in my life where God has allowed me to see deceit among those who say they are godly people. I have seen it. I have seen it. Those who really say they are, you better watch out. That's why I say have your own discernment. Watch what churches you go to. Watch if you see growth in the church. Church is supposed to have fruit. They're supposed to bear fruit. There's supposed to be some type of growth mentally and spiritually and physically, emotionally. You're supposed to grow. Be aware of your leaders and what they are saying to you. You take what they say to you and you do your own research. You meditate on those words that they're telling you. You ask God if it's true for you. Do you understand me? Because they will deceive. Okay? Illusion is all around us. I need you to pay attention to what's going on. Do you understand me? And I also have something else. I'm about to read to you something else that I had to do. I have to read to you this dream that God also gave me to piggyback off of the word that I just gave you right here. I'm gonna read the dream. I wrote the dream. I have a dream book. And I wrote the dream down. It's some little notes I got over here. So I was just reading that. But I'm going to go to the dream right quick. So it says, this one, oh, I'm sorry, guys. I messed up. My phone fell. Okay, so this one says, this one is a heartbreaking dream. So I had a dream about Apostle's funeral before he died. He was an apostle at my church. He had cancer. He died, and I had a dream of his funeral. And in the dream, I saw his daughter and his wife in the limo at the funeral. But let me just read it. So I had a dream about the apostle's funeral before he died, but I didn't tell anyone. I didn't know what to say to his wife or children about what I saw. They were in the limo dressed in all black, but it was only his wife and his daughter. Yolanda's husband wasn't with her, so I wasn't sure which one of them were gone. But one night we had a night service, and the guest pastor prophesied to the church. He told us the apostle was going to be healed from his cancer. Spirit let me know that was a lie. Do you understand me? As soon as the man said it out his mouth, Spirit let me know that was a lie. I didn't know how to tell this family I dreamed of someone dying. I didn't know what to do. I didn't say anything. What if I was wrong? But weeks later, I got a text at work. He had passed. Maybe I should have said something. I'm not sure. But what got me pissed was when Yolanda told the church God told her to start preparing for his funeral about a month or two before he died. So you knew he was dying and you let the pastor prophesy a lie in your father's church. You over here in the corner praising when you knew he was lying the whole time. What the F is going on? Do you understand me? Look, y'all. I had that dream and I was so nervous. Every Sunday I went to church. Every Tuesday night when I was going to Bible study. I ever since I had that dream, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to tell them, his family, that he was not going to make it, that God had already gave me a dream that he was going to pass. Like, God allowed me to see this man's funeral. And I think he did it to help me because God didn't tell me to tell y'all this part, but I believe this is why God allowed me to have that dream, because my natural dad and I'm sorry guys, because it's windy out here. I apologize. I'm gonna just hold the phone. Because my natural dad and my spiritual dad, they died it was 29 days apart. And I think God allowed me to see that dream to help me cope with what was coming, because Apostle no, my dad passed first. My dad passed first. I got a text at work I was just about to leave work, and I told my brother to hold on. I was about to get off. Before I could either get to the car, unlock the door, and sit down, he was calling me again, just blowing my phone up. That's when he told me they had found my dad in the apartment. He was dead. He had been there for like 4 or 5 days. And man, I tell you, 29 days later, I am at the same job, doing the same thing. And it was like, right after lunch, I get a text that Apostle had passed, and that man was my spiritual father. I loved him, and it was so heartbreaking. And I believe God gave me that dream to help me cope with what I was going through with both situations, because I didn't grow up with my dad, but God put it on my heart to bury my father. Like, he gave me that responsibility, even though I didn't grow up with my dad, even though me and my dad had some issues. My dad had just came home from the penitentiary, from prison. Yeah, he had maybe been home, I don't even think maybe my dad had been home a year. And it just so happened the way God orchestrated me, my children, my brother, and his family to get together in Virginia one last time, not knowing that my father was going to pass. It was ordained. It was ordained by God. Everything was orchestrated. It was so crazy. But my dad had never met my children, had never met his grandchildren on my side or my brother's side, who lives in Minnesota. And it was so crazy how God orchestrated all of us to get together at one time, to be with my dad, to have this massive dinner, to turn around months later and he passed. It was all ordained. It was our way of saying goodbye. Even though I didn't have a relationship with my dad, subconsciously I loved him because I grieved him, which was shocking to me. But I'm not gonna get off topic. That's a whole nother story. But I just wanted to say that I really believe God put that on me for that particular reason. And it was just crazy how everything came about. But to know that you already knew that your father was passing, and you allow a outsider of your church to come into your church and prophesy that your father was going to be healed, to me is just strange. How do you allow someone to come in your church and prophesy a lie and feel comfortable in allowing them to prophesy that lie without stopping them, without saying hold up, without stop nothing? You understand me? That for me, that was another red flag for me, asking God, like, do I still belong here? Do I still belong in this church? Because I have caught people in lies, and I have seen some things in the church that just make me go, you understand me? And over time, of course, I did end up leaving that church. God told me it was time for me to go, and I clarified, because I loved God to give me confirmation. And so I just wanted I wanted to have one more clarity, and I went back to that church for the one last time to make sure that I was not supposed to be there no more. And before I even got out my car, God said, I'm going to show you for real. And he's like, I'm going to show you. You need clarification, I'm going to show you. And when I tell you, from the moment I walked into that church, I'm talking about from the praise, from the time I came in there, the praise team was already singing. I'm talking about from the time I stepped in there, from the time they were singing to the worship service, to when they was giving me hugs, to when they was talking to me about some things that happened, that somebody was supposed to call me and do something for me, just came out. God was showing me their true colors. Do you hear me? Which I had already seen some colors, but God was showing me. I'm talking about so vivid, so clear, so clean. Like, it could be no question, no shadow without a doubt that, baby, you do not belong in this place no more. The deception has been unveiled. I can already see them, but he just confirmed, look, what you see is what you see. I keep telling you, what I show you is real. Stop second guessing yourself. But sometimes, when you just not sure, but God keeps telling me, chick, I keep telling you who you are. But tribe, I'm not going to hold you up. I just wanted to share that message with you to really be careful about who you surround yourself with. That's even people in the church. The church members who say they're your friend, who going to be there for you, who got your back, who's speaking life into you. Be careful who you let lay hands on you, who you let pray for you, who you let touch you, who you let be in your house, who you let know your business, because church folk do this too. Do you understand me? I just want you to be careful and be aware, and apparently God wants you to be aware too, because he brought this to me last night. And I did not want to waste any time bringing you this message. If he give it to me, I am going to be obedient and give it to you no matter how much I'm sharing my business. Yeah, I might get some backlash from those people in the church that I went to, whether they see this video or not. It is what it is, because God told me to do this, and I'm going to continue to keep doing what he tell me to do. His word is my word. Do you understand me? The words that come out my mouth come from him. Do you understand me? So if anybody got a problem with what I said, you take it up with him. Do you understand me? Don't take it up with me, because you're not going to like the results you get. And you know what I'm talking about. Tribe, you know what I'm going to say. You continue with those positive vibes. You continue to keep your head up high. You continue to not let those naysayers deter you and the things that you want to do. Do you understand me? Because life gonna keep lifing. So you keep doing what you want to do. You live life to your best of your ability. And you continue to ask God to prune that heart, to let that heart work for you. Do you understand me? Because it's gonna do what it do. You know what it's gonna do. Love living there. Do you understand me? Your desires, your wants, your needs. Do you understand me? Live right there. That's where everything functions from. Everything. How you feel, what you believe, what you want, everything's still right there. You understand me? And when you have a balance in life, when you can get that right, when you can have an understanding, an understanding of who you truly are, baby, no one can stop you. Do you understand me? They keep trying to bring me down, but God keep lifting me up. Do you understand me? They can say all they want to say about me. I don't care, because I know who I serve. I serve a good God. Do you understand me? I serve a God. So I believe, I trust in him so much that I have decided to do what he tell me to do. And if he tell me to bring you a word, I don't care if it's about a pastor. I don't care if it's about an evangelist. I don't care who it's about. A bishop. I don't care who they say they is. They can say they the highest or the most high. They can say they sit right beside God and God whisper to them. But if God tell me they doing something and he want me to expose them, it shall be done in the name of Jesus. Do you hear me? I love you, tribe. I'm about to go out here and enjoy this view. Watch this. Yeah, baby. I'm about to take this little trail walk. Yes. I'm about to let the earth just do what it do. I'm about to enjoy this atmosphere. Stay grounded. Tribe, you see where I'm at, right? I'm at the park. Make sure you stay grounded. Stay grounded. Hug a tree. Walk in the grass with no shoes on. Embrace life. Listen to the birds. Watch the squirrels run around. Stay grounded. It's gonna give you peace. It's gonna give you serenity. Past your understanding, baby. I love you, tribe. Until next time, I'll see you again. Mwah! I love you so much. Plenty of energy, baby. Keep that head up and that heart open. Peace.